Today, the UK government leaked Nintendo's new console and we've got all the info. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint, where the games industry is no less goofy 500 episodes later.
In fact, since they keep making Kingdom Hearts games, there's been an increase in goofy over time.
Our jokes aren't any less stupid either.
Happy to help. If you're like me, and our shared Netflix account reveals that our recommendations match, you love a good caper, a heist, a sting, an accomplished bamboozle. And Valve cooked up quite the situation using Dota 2 and the gaming public's utter disdain for cheating. Valve crafted an update to Dota 2 that patched an exploit used by cheating software. You know, software that you download and install explicitly because you want to cheat. But they didn't really close the hole. No, they turned the hole into a honeypot. A honeypot so invisible and delicious that only cheating software could see it. Players who weren't cheating would have no idea it was there. And so Valve could build a list of people using clients that could see the hole. And then they banned them. Wow, you say? Nice! How many? 40,000. That's why it's in the lower third. When asked for their motivation, Valve said, "We wanted to make this example visible and use it to make our position clear. If you are running any application that reads data from the Dota client as you're playing games, your account can be permanently banned from playing Dota." Valve also considers their anti-cheating efforts an ongoing campaign, so you know what that means. Sequels!
In their latest investor report, Krafton, formerly Bluehole, the studio behind Player Uptown's Funky Clowns, has said that a forthcoming title, codenamed Black Budget, will challenge them to popularize the extraction shooter genre. Now you may be wondering, what exactly is an extraction shooter? What is this new genre? Well, in simple terms, it's a first-person shooter subgenre where you spawn in at a location, try to collect as much loot as you can, and then get out, the extract part, with that loot, which you can then use in your next incursion. You know, like 2019's Hunt Showdown, or 2017's Escape from Tarkov, or even The Dark Zone from 2016's The Division. Notably unpopular games. And let us not forget Call of Duty's own Warzone DMZ, an extraction shooter mode currently in beta. But yeah, it's going to be Krafton who popularizes the genre and definitely isn't just chasing a current trend. All of that said, it's not like Krafton has no idea what they're doing. Diving further into this investor report reminds me that PUBG's mobile version is still outrageously popular and looks very different from when I played it, so maybe the team behind Panda Buddies Party Town might actually know what they're doing.
I have a conundrum. Apparently, the United Kingdom Competition and Markets Authority has accidentally leaked the successor to the Nintendo Switch. I know this because speculators are breathlessly posting on news sites. So clearly there's a story here, but as I've said, I have a problem. You see, I love covering Nintendo stories, but I hate covering leaks. And I don't really want any spoilers, but I have to know what exactly could the UK government know and reveal about Nintendo's next-gen system. Because does anyone out there really believe there's any way in hell the UK government is going to know anything salient about Nintendo's next-gen system? Like, is this just regulatory information? Or is there going to be something weird like it has 4 screens and laser-based Wi-Fi? I gotta know. Let's have a look. Paul? Nintendo's cloud gaming service is only available on the Nintendo Switch device and redacted. There you have it, folks. The big reveal. Nintendo is planning to make another console after the Switch. I'll be under the desk, angry at journalism.
The birds are also angry, and so too are their fans, as this week, Rovio, the developers of mobile gaming classic Angry Birds, announced it was pulling the game from digital storefronts, kind of, in a way. As of today, Thursday, February 23rd, the original 2009 game, now called Rovio Classics Angry Birds, is being removed from the Google Play Store. Meanwhile, on the iOS App Store, it's not being removed, presumably because they're probably under some sort of contract, but it is being renamed to Red's First Flight, importantly dropping both the Rovio Classics branding and, the name Angry Birds. I've said the word classic thrice already in this story, and that may seem odd to say of Angry Birds, but as much as I hate to admit it, 2009 was 14 years ago. Plus, the game was and is wildly popular. Nobody ever tried to make 2 movies out of Clash of Clans. 3rd movie in development. So why are Rovio doing this, removing or making harder to find their original and beloved game? Well, it seems the issue is they're not making enough money on it. See, the original Angry Birds uses this archaic economic system where a user buys the app and then can play it, whereas all of Rovio's other newer titles are riddled with microtransactions, like all proper mobile games. Now, while Rovio hasn't outright said the availability of this game means people aren't spending money on our newer crap, their official statement did say, quote, due to the game's impact on our wider games portfolio. And then the community manager explained further on the official Discord, quote, it is negatively impacting our other games, which is what we as a company have to focus on. If those other games do not improve and grow, then the outlook of the entire company changes. It is harder to create new games or work on new projects. I'm sure that's not something you'd want. No, Buck. What people clearly want is a game they can give you money for once and then play it when they'd like to. Like a green pig who's decided to make his balsa wood tower taller this time, you're going away from this with the wrong lessons. Beach, come out of there.
No! I said I'd be under the desk, so I'm staying under the desk.
If you come out, you can do another story on Sonic's 30th anniversary.
And you'll say something nice about it?
I will do my best.
I can't unbend my legs.
Oh, another bullet dodged.
Coming up, Sports Story's new update has removed 80% of its secret dev room. No word yet on whether they've also removed 80% of their actual dev room.
So the Nintendo future console story is very funny to me. And because you mentioned, this is written, the one that we were looking at from Ars Technica, written by Kyle Orland, who we've read tons of his stories over the years.
We've met the dude. We've been on panels with him.
Oh, yeah. And
he's a real person.
Yeah, he's a real human being. And you were saying that you felt, and I agree with you, that him doing that story is like probably more so like making fun of all the other, or just being annoyed about all the other.
It's the story about the story.
Yeah, because it's a perfect example of Betteridge's law of headlines. Because the story is, because for those unfamiliar, Betteridge's law of headlines is if the headline is a question, the answer is no.
Yeah, the answer is always no.
The Ars Technica headline was, did the UK government just reveal the next Nintendo console?
And you don't write headlines like that on purpose, right? You don't write something that ends in a question mark like that when you know about that kind of thing. So, because ours almost never does that.
Yeah,
they almost never do a question headline. So clearly, I think that was the intent. I think, because when I was reading it, I was like, son of a bitch, why are they doing a story about this? Because it's a non-story. And then when I realized, I'm like, wait a second, all these things are kind of lining up in this way. Oh, if this was the intention, this is actually kind of clever. It's a little bit of a pseudo troll.
Like they were just like, Nintendo will have another console.
Yeah.
Oh no! Breaking news, everyone.
The biggest thing I think that you could maybe point to is the fact that they're like NSO, which is what they mean by the cloud gaming service. NSO will be available on whatever other platform that was redacted from that, and that's assuming we're assuming that's even Nintendo's next console. That could just be like maybe NSO becomes available on the Xbox, but Nintendo doesn't want anybody saying that for some reason. I don't know. I don't even know if that would ever be the case. But I think that's the thing, is it's like it's a piece of information that could be anything. And we learn nothing from it, except that it will be on another platform of some sort.
Yeah. Actual Nintendo news that we didn't do a full story on is that Nintendo and
Microsoft.
Was it Microsoft? Was it Microsoft or was it Activision?
It was Microsoft.
Okay.
Because we're signing an agreement.
I mean, I assume an agreement in principle because that purchase has still not gone ahead.
Exactly.
But anyway, they signed an agreement for 10 years that Activision games will still come to Nintendo consoles.
Yeah. I think the takeaway that people have come with is that it's like they're saying that Xbox games will be made available for the Nintendo platform, and that this would also include Call of Duty if Activision Blizzard King acquisition goes through. Like that's how all of the articles are framing it. Is that it's saying that, hey, if this was to happen, then also this chunk, but also we're signing a 10-year agreement to say we will make every good effort to bring Xbox games to the Switch.
Here's the Microsoft and Nintendo have now negotiated and signed a binding 10-year legal agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo players the same day as Xbox with full feature and content parity so they can experience Call of Duty just as Xbox and PlayStation gamers enjoy Call of Duty. We're committed to providing long-term equal access to Call of Duty to other gaming platforms, bringing more choice to more players and more competition in the market.
So this statement's actually just about Call of Duty only.
Yeah.
Okay. Because all of the other like articles I read in passing were about, this is an agreement to bring Xbox games to the Nintendo Switch, and I'm like, is it? Because I didn't think that was reflected in the thing you just read, but I guess it is. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen the contract.
It's a response from Jeff Keighley, who's like, and price parity?
I mean,
This is just surprising.
every game is going up in price, so
Yeah. I mean, usually not. Usually Switch games are cheaper. Are they not?
oh no, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. It was Breath of the Wild 2 is what I was about to say, and I had to stop myself. Tears of the Kingdom is going up by $10 US. It is the first one where they're like, we're publishing this game at $70 US instead of $60. But they also they just released Metroid Prime at remastered at $40. And so there's this kind of sense of maybe not every game is going to be released at a $70 price point. Maybe it's just because that the cost of flash memory for a larger Switch cartridge means they're charging more money to cover their costs for that. I don't know. Nobody really knows why that happened yet. So it could just be very arbitrary. It could be that it took them so many years. They're like, we need to make some money back on our investment. And it's like, I guess you'll just have to sell 27 million copies of that one too.
I don't think they're going to have a lot of difficulty with that.
No, I don't think they will.
Yeah. Oh, also Shinji Mikami's leaving Bethesda.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, worked on the early Resident Evil titles at Capcom, and he's been at Bethesda. He did The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo, and most recently Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, cool! Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea.
The game that they were like, surprise.
Yeah.
And he's like, cool, I'm out. So, but yeah, Hi-Fi Rush has been very well received.
Yeah, a lot of people really like it.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of videos show up in my feed about it, and I don't. That's not my jam, but there it is. So I'm glad people are liking video games still. That's a relief. 500 episodes.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank goodness video games are still happening.
This fad is going to stick around for a little while, folks.
Yeah.